There we go. What's up, everybody? Tony with VHS is Life. Josh with Lunchmeat VHS. Listen, folks, we're doing some fun stuff today. We are just talking tapes. So just lots of stuff going on in the VHS community. Josh, you've been doing this forever. Like, what do you think? Do you think that it's an ebb and flow kind of thing where the news picks up on stuff and then it scales back down? Or do you think we're ramping up? What do you think?
I think it's ramping up. I think when more things occur, I think the thing with James at Witter, and Alex at Broke Horror Fan going into Walmart. I mean, it's all anybody's talking about right now.
Yeah.
Because it's monumental. It's like it really does change the game. I think it's the first time a VHS has been available in a retail store like of that magnitude, like a big box store in 20 years, right? Like 2003, 2004. Yeah. So it's just incredible. And I think, that's a hot topic in the tapehead world right now because of the magnitude of it. And it should be. I mean, it's groundbreaking, so I think it's opening a lot of doors, for the future for maybe Lunchmeat releases to be available, at that level or other people, or even like some of the stuff that you're doing to be available at that level. I mean, because this is going to do well. It's already doing well. Right. So, yeah. I mean, I think like, people are scalping on it already. And like, it's of course that was going to happen. The VH scalpers are going to come out. But yeah, I think we're building, I think more and more is going to happen, like you releasing the mold cleaning machine was huge, dude, and I think it's going to continue to grow. We have some really cool stuff coming up. VHS Fest is about to hit in July. So it's great, man. There's tons of stuff happening. Yeah.
It's amazing, on Instagram and other platforms as well, but especially on Instagram, like you can literally fill your follow with thousands of pages full of people that's doing VHS stuff, right? Everything from customizing to putting out releases, just to fans. We got people buying, selling, collectors showing up. I mean, it's just almost you need, if you got a personal account, you almost need a separate account just for VHS. There's so much content out there, which is great. Yeah. It's amazing. I was talking to James today and I said, I mean, honestly, here's the way I look at it. I love that VHS is back in a retail store. I love that people are talking about it. It is getting traction everywhere in the groups, Reddit, you name it. Some good, some bad. But I said, press is press, right? It keeps it talked about. But, I think what's important for the community to remember, and I made a post about this on Instagram, but for people on YouTube watching or Facebook, I mean, this is a big deal for these guys. I mean, we're just all sort of like, individual tapeheads, have a love for VHS that are just doing our thing, right? So to have your name on a product in a big box store is really I think the neatest thing about it is, that's a big deal for James and for Alex over at Broke Horror Fan to say, hey, we've worked hard to get there, right? It's not just about the media. It also showcases the effort behind what people are doing to keep this media relevant and available.
Yeah, so, and I think it's really important you bring that up because it takes a while to get there. I've never really approached the idea of getting into a big box store because you have to look at it like, I was telling some of my friends because like, oh man, you didn't like. They're like, are you upset that Lunchmeat wasn't the one to get it into a store? And I'm like, no. I mean, it's amazing. Like it's amazing. It's a whole win for the culture, right? This is what Lunchmeat has been building towards, since the beginning, is just to have it more recognized and have it remembered. And at this point, it's championed. It's a culture. I think Lunchmeat has done its job in that way, right? And we're just going to continue.
Absolutely.
To build. So, I mean, I'm thrilled about it. But I mean, the thing is, like, James works with those. Witter works with those levels of movies, right? Things that could be viable for a Walmart because it's Terrifier, because it has that brand recognition, right? Because those movies are huge, right? So, I mean, like, especially in the contemporary horror world, I'm doing different things with my label. I do different, independent pictures, or we're going to talk about Dinky Pie, right? With Brian. I mean,
you actually have that's getting ready to be released any day now, right?
It's out right now. Yeah,
it's out. Okay,
it's out. Yeah, it's shipping next week, but yeah. But but there's things like that, and like Heck or Frogman, which are recently, like Frogman, I think could go into Walmart at some point because it's just an amazing movie, and it just doesn't have the brand recognition yet of Terrifier, right?
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that we make it a point for that this takes over a year of work for one title just to get it in, and I release 4 titles a month, right? So it's like you just have to look at you have to recognize the kind of work and dedication and persistence and patience that it takes to do something on the level of Walmart, right? So and you have to want that too.
You've been doing this for a long time. I mean, before before the website, you were doing magazines and stuff. So
I mean, we still do publications
stuff. You still do publications.
Yeah, we still do all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
You got, and what's amazing is, and I don't know if you haven't just went to Lunchmeat VHS.com and looked around, like there's times I'll be sitting there eating lunch. I'll just go to your site and just start reading blog posts. Like I'll just start reading old stuff. There's so much content out there. Like you have accrued so much information and knowledge and cool partnerships and collabs with people. That just like you can literally just sit there and just binge it. So there's a lot of stuff out there, and what I'm doing is very, very new to the community from a brand name. I mean, I'm old, obviously. You can tell that by looking at me, but I've been around. You're
not that old, dog.
Hey, dude, Friday. I turned double nickels. All right, so I can actually Friday. I can move.
Yeah, happy belated, man.
I can move into one of those retirement communities, right? Get my golf cart. So yeah.
Get the VHS's life golf carts going, dude.
Oh man, yeah, deck it out
with a VCR in it.
Shoot, man. So here's the thing. There is the cleaner is taking a lot of its own. You've been a big, huge help in that. Honestly, thought maybe I'd sell 20, 30 of them. I just wanted it out there for the community. I just wanted people to be able to have a tool, right? I mean, you wrote the book clearly on how to clean it, and then
with Chip Harton. Chip Harton wrote it, and I helped. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's out there. People have been doing this forever. I mean, I'm going to be the first to say you don't have to have the cleaner to clean your tapes. It just makes it easier. And now the videos are rolling in. People are using it. And honestly, like when I've made my first shipping post that, hey, we got, I'm actually putting these out and not just talking about it. I just wanted to let people know, hey, I got my first 20 going out the door. Then only had 65 on the total orders on the wait list. Now today I just hit 300. So
that's crazy, man.
It's crazy, man.
And I really believe once they start hitting, people will see how easy and how efficient it is to use, because now it's funny you call it the old way, but the old way with a standard VCR and all that kind of stuff, and it's still viable. It's just you don't have to waste a VCR, and this machine is like we said on the site, it revolutionizes everything.
Yeah. It just makes it easier. It's just easier. It's lightweight. I mean, and the thing about a VCR, is I clean tons of. Matter of fact, that's what made me make the machine. Is I drag out my VCR, I'd clean a tape or two, and then I'd hold my pad against the tape too tight, and all of a sudden it would think it's bound up, so it would try to eject it, and I'm like, this is so frustrating. So there had to be a better way. So that's all it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day,
it helps so much, man.
It will. It'll be a help, and at the end of the day, it's just going to be another tool to keep the tapes and the media that we love out of the trash, and keep our working VCRs still working and not get our heads clogged up. That's ultimately why you got it. That's ultimately why you want to get the mode off. I mean, you may want to just display it, but B, the main thing is you want to keep that crap out of your VCR, right?
Yeah, so, it's essentially dirt.
Yeah,
it's dirt that So
people don't realize the heads on a VCR are tiny, tiny electronics, and I mean it doesn't take hardly anything to clog those up. So, to keep those things clean, and then you start trying to clean them. Then all of a sudden you open up a whole new can of worms, because you damage your head, then you got a bad VCR. So, but hey, listen, there's lots of cool stuff going on. I just wanted to get you on here. I had made a post the other day, so I want to talk about like screeners for a minute. I think.
Oh yeah.
I think as we do these things, do these talks, maybe just now and then we'll just do some cool stuff, talk about what's going on in the community, and just talk about some stuff that the average VHSer tapehead may not know about. But
right.
So you've been around forever. You know about screeners, and screeners were produced to send out to video stores. To let them decide what they wanted to buy to put in their video store. I think they were put out for maybe the directors, the studios or something, just to check out, what was going on before they released it. I don't know. There's like, I'll show you what I've got. I just pulled some stuff aside. What we're going to talk about today is what I posted, which is this evil laugh.
Yeah, that celebrity screener.
They call it a preview cassette. That's the first one I've seen that says preview cassette.
Yeah, I see this preview cassette too. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't call these cassettes a lot. We call them tapes. But yeah, like here's one that I got by Photochem, which is a post-processing lab. You're probably familiar with them, but I ended up with like 40 of these that they did for Lionsgate, and they're just all different titles. No covers, no sleeves. I don't know what they did with them. Like, and you see it's got like
I believe that's to test the product.
So
to make sure that they're happy with the replication.
That's what I'm saying. So there's these things out there, and here's what I like about the VHS and the community. I think likes about it. There's all kinds of cool stuff to find. That's what makes it fun. Here's
the
another
culture's
cool
so deep. Yeah.
It is. Check this out. This is a trailer tape. It's just a tape.
Is that Transworld?
Do what?
Is it Transworld?
So this is a Transworld. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is House of Terror and Outlaw Force. Oops,
great movie.
So
David Heavener for the win.
I've got 4 or 5 of these, and they're pretty cool. So they're just trailers. They're not like, a screener tape. Most of the time it's the whole movie that has stuff on it, right? Like don't make copies, or preview only. Don't release, whatever. And then we got the one that we're going to look at down the road a little bit that I thought was just so neat. This one has a counter on it. So
yeah, dude, this is the one.
So this
talent
is
for the game. It
has a counter, and you can only play it 5 times, and then I don't know. I guess it self-destructs. I don't know. We'll have to.
It just explodes, dude.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna get together one day on this video. We're just gonna tear it apart. We're gonna dissect it. We're gonna see what happens.
I mean, we should take a look. Yeah, and obviously, I think we should. I have one for the Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman.
Okay.
And it doesn't have the internal counter on the video cassette. I sent you that video, I think, where it's just a counter on the top left of the screen. So I'm about to just like do it and see what happens and see what
happens to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny to think about back in the day when this was mainstream. Of course, we see blue tapes, red tapes. We see, I think, what was it? When they did the ET, they used the green reels and the green dust cover to keep people from counterfeiting them, or at least to acknowledge the one you got's counterfeit, because this is what the real one looks like. So there was all kinds of like tricks and gimmicks and stuff these guys were doing to keep people from stealing their stuff, basically. Yeah. So that's why on a screener cassette or a preview cassette, it has that writing that goes across the screen, so people weren't going to take it and start playing
copy
it. Copy it, whatever. So hey, listen, let's do this. I've never watched the whole movie, Evil Laugh.
It's a riot.
Yeah. So I watched a good portion of it, and then I just ran out of time. But I did some research on it. Like, it's not really a great movie from what I could tell, but it's a fun movie. That's what I like about it. When you watch it now versus like going back and looking at it maybe from day one, there's so many things it brings to mind. And that's what I thought, we'd watch this clip. This is like the first 5 minutes of it. I'm going to add it to our stage here. And let's just watch it, man. We'll just check it out. So guys, this is the preview cassette for the movie Evil Laugh, directed by Dominic Brascia, I guess.
Brascia Jr., I think it was.
Yeah, he was in like one of the Friday the 13th films, I think.
Miles O'Brien. Oh, Kim McKamey's in this, dude.
So So yeah, so there are some.
Which is Ashlyn Gear, if you didn't know.
There's a few recognizable names in here. Yeah, there's also Sasha, the Hollywood Madam. She's in this. Can you imagine designing that music?
Oh yeah,
that's pure '80s right there, man. Sorry, the quality ain't great, but that's the screen. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of blown out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's blown out, but literally, like I got it as dark as I could. That's just what the tape looks like. So,
is it really this blown out?
Yeah, yeah.
Holy crap! Well, I'm sure this preview cassette didn't do that well then, because people were like, "Hey, this is blown out."
Well, think about it. How many preview cassettes have you seen of it? I mean,
this is the first one I've ever seen.
You rarely ever see. There goes your language across the screen.
What's wrong? What do you want? I'm here delivering the food the new tenants ordered. Well, don't give it to me. Put the supplies in the kitchen.
Great dialogue.
Yeah, you got to think these preview cassettes. I mean, I think that's why some collectors like them, because they're obviously more rare. Like there's just less produced.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, even the tape itself. I pulled up TERRIFIER, looked at the last 3 years. I mean, even the tape itself, you don't see it very often on the marketplace. Like eBay, I think the last one sold for like 70 to 90. So
a lot of celebrity tapes go for money.
Yeah, they don't seem to be very offered out very much. Like it's hard to find one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was really like shocked when I pulled that out of the box. I mean, like
I was surprised too, seeing a celebrity preview cassette or screener.
Yeah, I mean, and when I went to look for the tape, like there's literally one listed on eBay, and I asked around to some people, and like hardly anybody even has this movie. So
there's definitely a cult following for it, though. Like every like cheesy B horror movie, you know.
That's the key. It's you get the shot on video B stuff. I mean, it's like a whole subgenre of its own. So
definitely.
You do know that if we like the house this weekend, we'll be buying it.
But this isn't shot on video, is it? I don't think it is.
No, not this one. But B movie, shot on video, that kind of stuff is what I mean. Just
it's
all
funny
of
that. People like apply shot on video to stuff nowadays. Sometimes just like not without thinking about it, because like it just means like low budget or something. It's interesting.
Mr. Burns, will you tell the tenants that I delivered everything? But my boss says we're all out of liver, and that we don't stock bull's hearts or monkey brains.
Monkey brains.
So he sent some extra chopped meat.
The Faces of Death shit on here.
Do what?
Monkey brains, Faces of Death.
Yeah, Faces of Death. Yeah, gosh.
Yeah.
I remember watching that. I was a teenager when I first saw that.
I remember watching it with my dad when I was like 8.
Crazy. Yeah, I was like, what?
Man, they roll this free for preview purposes a lot.
Yeah. Well, they don't want you taking it and making money on it, apparently. Yeah, it's horrible quality. I mean, it just is a horrible quality. I did my best.
I'm surprised at how bad it is.
Yeah. Of course, I don't know how old that tape is, but
well, it's just you said you messed with the contrast and everything too, because this is very blown out. Like the whites are just so hot.
It's very bad, blown out. As a matter of fact, I turned all the lights out and closed, like everything in the room was dark. So like there's no external lighting at all in that room.
Huh? I got friends coming over here and you want me to serve this? They'll just stand there like a jerk, do something. You know how to call that, Mark? You're telling them I have to wait for a stupid liver. I can't make my special dish without a cat's eye.
Yeah, I wonder how the released movie looks compared to this.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Or ask that same question.
Yeah. What is that sound effect? Like it wasn't even close to a stab sound. It was almost a pre-scream.
I felt like it's a rip on Psycho, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's almost a pre-scream. Or no, Psycho.
Yeah, Psycho. Yeah.
Psycho. Yeah. That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you got to open the opening scene. You got to have the kill. You know, I mean, it's great. I just love the preview cassettes. I love that we're talking about it. My favorite thing about preview cassettes is when it was made specifically for video stores that have all of the information on the content of the film and the performance, and then has
right.
like, I have a screener cassette for Leprechaun, and it's on the Lunchmeat YouTube that you can look at it. But there's just like Leprechaun ringing the bell at the stock market and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just all like when screeners and preview cassettes have that kind of material on it, I just love it. That's why whenever I see the screeners, I pick them up to see. Like I have a Prayer for the Roller Boys right here that I'm gonna look at later today and see what kind of extra stuff they got on here from Academy. So
what's cool about the screeners too is that a lot of them had the artwork that was on the screener wasn't on the final release. You know,
it happens. Yeah,
it happens. I say a lot of it, but sometimes it was on there. I've got I just grabbed one out of my stack, so I got lucky. I got a hold of a haul. I've got about a little over 1,000 screeners, and 800 of them are sealed. It's crazy.
That's insane.
But this is a scary movie demo tape, and it's exactly what you were talking about on the back.
Mm-hmm.
It's got all that information about the movie, right? 150 plus million. Well, I can't read it because it's backwards to me, but it's got all the information on it. So, nationwide marketing blitz, huge trailering, scary big star power. So that's what they sent out to the video stores to get them to say, okay, yeah, we want to buy this and put them in our store for rent, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says, even at the bottom, it says video retailers only.
Mm-hmm.
So some retailer got this tape, I guess, and just threw it in a box or whatever.
And that has to be where all that came from, because if you have such a big cache of screeners, that has to be just a video store or a video retailer that was just like, don't care, and just toss them in a box.
Right, yeah. And there's a lot of folks out there, I saw on Whatnot, and I've seen it on Facebook. There's a lot. Matter of fact, there's a screeners group on Facebook that there's people that just collect screeners. So they and which again goes back to being a cool part about our media that we love is you can have all these sub niches, sub genres. Whether it's shot on video or whether it's just straight B movie or whether it's screeners or whether it's whatever, a certain a house that Warner Brothers clamshells. It's just so many different ways to create a collection, because there's hundreds of thousands of different tapes out there, right? So
there's millions.
Probably. So you can't have them all. So in your somehow you got to say, what am I going to collect? What am I going to buy? Right? And it's cool because you say, okay, this is my niche. This is what I like. This is what I'm going to collect. I know, talking about James, there's a guy I'm friends with that he's just got his collection is all Witter Entertainment. Like
that picture was awesome, dude. Did you see that picture?
He's got all but like 2 releases, and then I ended up I got one of your tapes in a bulk buy, your New York Ninja tape.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I ended up getting that to a guy that collects Lunchmeat stuff. Like he just got ton and didn't have that tape, Awesome. So I love the fact that people have so many ways to collect VHS, watch their movies, keep the format alive, keep it relevant, and swap and do trades. Conventions. It's just, I'm not down in any other physical media, but to me, there's just more things to do in the VHS format.
There's so many aspects, man. There's so many aspects, right? There's label, there's director, there's genre, there's like you said, screener or cartoons, or there's just so much different stuff. And you become interested in certain pieces of the culture, right? And I think that's what's so cool. I think when we post this on YouTube, I think a good question to ask any viewers is like, why do you collect, or what is your particular affection for VHS, because I think everyone has their own reasons. You know, I get interviewed a lot about this, obviously, and people ask, like, why do people do it? And it's like, well, you can't really answer that question, because the answer is that there's so many different ways and reasons that people right. So I mean, I think it's really cool that what you're talking about. Yeah.
The very least of that most likely is, you know, quality, right? Everybody's like, oh, I can watch it in 4K. I can watch it. Well, that's really almost the least important reason anybody collects VHS, right? So it's nostalgic.
I think aesthetic is important. I think, you know, I watched Weird Science with a friend the other night.
Yeah, love that.
Love Weird Science, right? And I've only watched Weird Science on television or like on TBS in like the 90s or early 2000s, or on videotape. And I'm watching Weird Science on, I think it was like, I don't know, Amazon or Tubi or something, right? And it was just crystal clear. I was like, this feels weird. It feels weird to see Weird Science like this clear, you know? So
it's almost sometimes worse because you see things you shouldn't see, right?
Yeah. I mean, especially with like horror movies. I mean, watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 4K is brilliant. Love it. Okay. But it's a different vibe when you're watching TCM 74, like when you're watching it on a tape, it just has this like greasy, scuzzy kind of feel, you know, like it's just, I don't know. Like I watched House of a Thousand Corpses with a friend 2 days ago, and I watched the tape. Right? I'm sure if you watch like a really clear version of it, it's not as cool. I know people are going to talk about House of a Thousand now that I mentioned it, but yeah.
Well, here's the thing, you know, you're watching a lot of those 70s and 80s, late 70s and 80s movies, let's just say 80s movies.
Sure.
That format was what was around when those movies came out, and those are the movies people love. So you watch that movie, it takes you back to that time frame. And when you watch it on the format that it came out on in that time frame, it just connects it all together, right? It just gives it that ambiance, you know, the lights out, the VCR click, the play, click, you know, everything kicks in and you know what you're in for, right? You're excited about that. So
yeah, absolutely. It's a feeling, man. It's a feeling.
Yeah, streaming, it's a little lazy. You know, you're laying in bed, you're eating something, you're streaming it, you're watching your phone, you know, you get a little lazy, but when you got it in the VCR and you're just sitting there with your popcorn and just you and TCM, and whole different feel. So, well, listen, Josh, appreciate you being here. I think this was super fun. I think we should just do it every so often when we have time. And hopefully,
I'm ready to do it whenever you want me to come on.
The community enjoys it. And hey, guys, if you are watching this, if you made it this far, the 2 or 3 of you that lasted to the end, and you got any ideas for me and Josh to talk about, you know, or you want to make any comments, or, you know, like Josh brought up, if you want to put in there why you collect, why you watch, or, you know, like the hobby, post a comment. We're going to have it links on Instagram, Facebook. We'll put this everywhere. Just reach out to us. We're just trying to keep the community alive. Do your own thing, folks. I mean, the more that we're out there, the more we're talking about VHS, the better it is for the community. Check out lunchmeatvhs.com. Millions or lots of great stuff. I don't know, you got millions, but you got tons of great stuff.
There's a lot. I appreciate the hyperbole. Yeah.
You got tons of great products. There's apparel. There's everything on there. My stuff's new right now, but hey, if you're interested in a mode cleaner or a tape cleaner, check out VHS's Life.
Definitely check it out.
Bro Core fan.
Perfect.
Oh, you got yours today?
Yeah, I did.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of stuff coming out. Keep it alive, man. Just press play. VHS is happiness. VHS
Rewind
is
or
life.
die.
All right. See you guys
Later.